Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for the second last episode of this half for The Walking Dead. That is Season 7. This is for Episode 7. It's called Sing Me a Song. Oh man, so really happy after seeing this episode because I was getting a little bit worried there after a few episodes. We've been talking about it this week. Spoiler warning, of course, for the new episode. But, you know, there's been a really weird season with regards to buzz about the show. Some low ratings, lowest they've had in over 3 years. And a few episodes that were pretty questionable. I liked most of them all the way through, pretty much. But you know, a lot of viewers pretty disappointed. I can't see how anybody could be disappointed with this episode. This was an awesome episode of The Walking Dead. I mean, you had some comedy mixed in here. You had some drama. You had a lot of different things happening because this was, of course, an extended episode. With Negan at the sanctuary and even getting to see Negan and Alexandria again, him and Carl and what's going on with them. I mean, we touched on a lot of different characters and a lot of different things in this episode, and it really felt a little crammed, but it felt like substance. Like there was enough in this episode to really grip us and just really deliver a very entertaining episode compared to some of the others that were kind of bottled up and we only got to see one or two characters. In this one, it's like we get to see just a ton of different characters, and I think Negan in this one absolutely stole the show. So not only did we get to see him at the sanctuary with Carl and kind of all the different things that he says to Carl, which are really funny, but then of course in Alexandria he comes on to Olivia. Starving, really, and I loved everything Jeffrey Dean Morgan did in this episode. I thought it was brilliant, and you know, when he asked her if he could screw her brains, she slaps him. I'm about 50% more into you now. Oh my God, tour and then a montage. I mean, they just really loaded this episode with a lot of great stuff. So one thing at a time. Let's go through it. Oh man. I almost think some of this stuff maybe should have been like put into an earlier episode or cut into a different episode, because it's like, okay, so we got the beginning. We started up with an awesome intro. We've got Michonne going for the walk, and we've seen this in the sneak peeks. She kills a couple zombies and she's dragging them around. We're not sure what she's 100% up to, but she's creating a barrier. Later in the episode, we get to see this as one of the female saviors is driving down there, and they get kind of stuck and caught, and then she pulls a sword on him and demands that they bring her to Negan. So she's kind of doing like a Carl thing, but of course she doesn't know that at that point Negan is, or at least so far as we know, she doesn't know that Negan is actually Alexandria right in her backyard as she's going out and trying to do this and make this happen. So we had that scene. We had Rick and Aaron, and you know, they're kind of waking up and everything inside of the truck, and then we get to see the Savior's truck with, of course, Carl and Jesus, who are hiding, and we even see Jesus later on. He's like on top of one of the Savior's trucks or something, which would have been really weird had we not have saw something similar to that already the previous season. Like had we not have had the episode where him and Daryl and Rick are kind of going around and he just happens to be on top of the truck. It's like, what? In this one, it made perfect sense and really made me think about that. It's like, that should be really weird, but it's not, because we saw that before and we know that he likes to do that. He's like Spider-Man, so I have no problem with it here. He jumps out. We get the "show me first," and I like the look that Jesus kind of gives him when he sees Carl. You know, like, you know, jumps out and everything. And then we've got Carl who goes in. And here's some parts from the Walking Dead comic book series that are really freaking epic that we finally got to see acted out in the TV series version. We got to see some badass stuff from Carl. Here's the cover for the Walking Dead issue 104, where he's got kind of the assault rifle. I think it's Abraham's assault rifle, actually. And yeah, so he goes off, and of course the comic book version of him being younger and stuff. But it was sweet in the TV series version too, because I felt like the way that it all kind of played out felt really clean and was really natural. So you've got him, and he wants Negan. And I like Chandler Riggs' acting in this episode. I thought it was really good, especially the "Sing Me a Song" moment, which a lot of us thought might be really weird in the TV series. But I like it because he's singing it, he's like terrified at the same time, and then after Negan's like, hey, you know, it's pretty good. It wasn't that bad. But really, it's like, you know, he's just terrified as he's doing it. So that was really good. Like the intro, you see Daryl, he's kind of running around trying to kind of protect Carl, even though he's in no position to do so. And then later when Negan gives him the finger, That's pretty badass. So I feel like all throughout this one, this was like a Negan badassery type of episode. Like there was so many things in this that made Negan look so badass compared to some of the stuff we've seen him in earlier, or just really funny that it was. This was really, really a good episode for Negan fans for sure. Sanctuary looks great. First time we get to kind of zoom out and see the sanctuary, see all these zombies and the fence and the gate and everything and how that works, and Daryl kind of being out there with Dwight and everybody. And then we roll credits. So the introductory sequence of this episode, amazing all the way through. We get the Negan speech, and he's kind of like showing off, right? He's kind of like, showing off, peacocking in front of Carl, because he kind of comes up and everybody's just like on their knees and stuff. And he's like, cool, right? And of course we know, because Negan's backstory, that he kind of likes kids, he relates to kids, and he's really interested in Carl because he's probably never met a kid like Carl. He's never seen a kid like Carl. And even the part when he kind of finds out about Carl's mom, about Lori, and what happened to her and everything, I thought was really good in the TV series version. So as you were, everybody gets back to work, respect and everything. You're badass. So I like how I like the TV series version with Negan and Carl, and how he really has this image of Carl. Like he sees Carl as like the super badass type image for a kid compared to everybody else, and him being a little serial killer and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that was in that part of the comics between Negan and Carl that we finally got to see in the TV series. And of course, for readers of the comics, I think it would feel natural to us, but to people who never read them, it might be maybe one of the highlights they've seen so far in The Walking Dead. In terms of fun factor, it was really, really fun. We have the stuff going on with Eugene and Rosita, so they kind of go out and they're doing their thing. And there was quite a bit of skipping around this episode, and I felt like it was good though. Sometimes it felt a little disjointed. I'll be honest with that, because it's like, where's the story at? And it's a little bit convoluted, a little bit all over the place. But I still thought it was better than having just a bottle episode. I felt like it really added a lot more to it and gave us, just condensed things and gave us a lot more stuff in this episode to make it stand on its own as a great episode. So we've got Eugene and Rosita. They go and he makes her a bullet. I'm not sure if he finished the bullet 100%. I assume that he did, because it seemed like at the end there Rosita had one. But we'll have to see what happens with that. We had the conversation between Spencer, and I like how he points out that it's like taxes. Negan's like a king of zombie apocalypse, and it's taxation to everybody within his kingdom, so to speak. So I think Spencer understands how smart Negan really is, even though Negan is evil at the same time, and they're on the receiving end of Negan's influence. So we've got let's see here. He tells Carl, look at those titties. Very awesome. You've got Sherry and Negan. Sherry seems to be doing her job well. It's really complicating the relationship between her and, well, I guess they don't really have a relationship at this point, and Dwight, but she's kind of like filling a role and pretending to like it and this kind of thing. And obviously that's got him demotivated quite a bit. You can kind of see it in his face and everything, and just how much like his testosterone just hit the floor. It's just like Negan's making all his wives like, boom, there's my test levels. Now here's my test levels. Boom. Because did you guys know your test levels, based on whether or not you win, lose, things like this, they actually change, they fluctuate. You can read into that if you want, science and shit. It's fun. But yeah, you can just see that, like, there's the pain that he's going through and everything because, of course, it's just like making out with her in front of him and everything. So you got Carl there, you got Amber, and the cheat on me line is just great. Hard in general, really. See, there's just so many here. So really good. Negan, Sherry, Daryl, Dwight. We've got Daryl. Why do you got him here? And Negan's like, whoa, I gotta talk now. Toothpick, maybe in the eye or something. Then we've got the furnace part. So we got the iron part. So another part from Negan at the sanctuary that we were waiting to see for a long time. That was really crazy, man. So you see, the burning on Mark and everything, and the effects were crazy because when he takes it off the face, like the tissue comes out like you're making, I don't know, some kind of food or something, and it's just kind of like loose, and it's just like, you ever eat pizza, you go into pizza and you come out, and it's like, if it's hot, it's like gooey and stuff. It's like comes out and it's just like gooey, and Dwight's there and has to give it to him and everything. So, man, that sequence was pretty intense as well, too. You got Carl there, obviously he's scared. Crazy stuff. And then we get the idea that, Carl kills two of his guys in the TV series version. He kills two men. And, I like how he refers to it as a birthday present. He forces Carl to take off the bandage because of what he did. Gabriel decides to walk back because he doesn't want to hear Spencer talking about Rick, because maybe this is a topic for a video, like, has Rick been a good leader? But I feel like, just to say quickly in this one, I think Rick has been a really good leader, and I think Spencer might be trying to ask a little bit too much from him. You know, like, there's things out there that if he wasn't there for, they probably would have lost even more people. And, you know, you can understand why Spencer would be upset at him, and he's just kind of cracking now. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I mean, does he really think he could have done a better job with No Way Out and with some of these other things that happened? I don't think so. So he gets a bow and he gets some supplies, and that brings him back. It's got the Latin note and that kind of stuff. So that's fun, and he's doing good, but he's kind of shocked to see that the Saviors are actually there when they get back, because maybe he had an idea to do something, but now obviously Negan's going to be there. And I really liked how they used Judith in the TV series version, because in the comics, Judith is not there. So you don't have all this stuff. But in the TV series, adding her in, it adds kind of fear for Rick. You know, when Rick gets back and if he sees Negan holding her, you know, that's going to be like super scary for him. He's going to be like, oh my God, you know, what's going on here, right? He's going to be really, really like afraid because of what he's seen Negan do, Negan breaking him in and everything, and now Negan's found out that he has Judith. He's gonna have Rick whipped pretty bad, I think. I mean, at this point, he's going to have Rick under his thumb, under his control, without too much trouble at all. And like the part when he's like bouncing her off of his leg and everything, he's holding her, and that was pretty funny. He sees like a neighbor and stuff, and they're like, "What the hell?" Carl's there, really good stuff. We got Fat Joey. So the line with Fat Joey, a lot of them were comic lines. Another comic line where he asks her about how he treated Lucille, and about him forgetting to bring her in. Talk a pussy and get the hell out of here when he starts laughing. It's kind of like when a guy laughs too much. Okay, you're annoying me. Get out of here. So at this point, I'm like watching the episode thinking he is, I'll just swear, because this is right in the episode, it's Negan. Whatever. He's fucking awesome. JDM killed it as Negan this episode. Absolutely killed it. Sing me a song. He sings in the song. He swings the bat. I like the way he's swinging the bat, because he's not just like swinging it like a batter. He's like swinging it down, because for him, it's like a tool to punish and enforce his rules, just like the iron, to keep everybody in line, you know, keep everybody listening. So when they see it and everything, they know what that weapon has done. See, Negan's really smart for, you know, average viewers may not realize all these little things that he's doing, but he is very smart, you know, at controlling people. Even if you take people that are, you know, some of the Saviors are questionable, they're not very good people, they haven't had very much, they're living in quite a bit of scarcity, but he's able to control them using the bat, using the iron, and he lets them see it, and he lets them know that he doesn't like to do it, he doesn't like to use the iron, but he kind of has to enforce his rules. So he's got the bat, he's swinging it around, it's pretty awesome. And Lucille likes being sung to, even more than Crash the Skulls, basically breaking heads. Little serial killer in the making. So breaking balls again, and we've got Carl holding Lucille, and then we've got the iron and the iron part. Yeah. So the iron part was really intense. Even though we don't know Mark, we could still see the fear. We could see Carl there. We could see Daryl and everything, and it was pretty scary, almost scary for the viewer as well too. And the point of view shots that they used earlier this season, I feel like, are still kind of prevalent, and we're still kind of feeling like we're under Negan's thumb as a viewer as well. At least that's the feeling that I got when you see the iron, and it's like you don't want the guy to have to do that, but you kind of understand. So Negan has, I bet you he's confused a lot of viewers. He's a lot of people like hating him, but like a lot of his people kind of liking him at the same time and being afraid of him. Really, you know, mass manipulation here of his people that he has, the Saviors at the Sanctuary. So then we got the scene between Dwight and Sherry, who Dwight kind of is, I think he's mad at her because of her kind of selling it so much. He kind of feeling like, is he sure that she is just doing this because she has to, or is she actually at this point maybe like more obedient to Negan, more they agreed for her to kind of do this, right, and be one of Negan's wives. But it feels like at this time he kind of resents her, that she's kind of like, she seems to be having an easier time with it than he probably would want her to. He probably would want her to be like one of the other wives where they kind of hate him and they don't kind of act so well. But she is probably his standout kind of wife of all his wives, I want to say. And Dwight accuses her of selling her out and everything, which she actually did, but she kind of denies it to Dwight. How do you sleep at night? And then they both, it seems to me like they both don't. Dwight doesn't. Negan and Carl wrap the face. why haven't you killed me? And there's a pretty good line there where Carl gets a little badass on him, and you're not going to do anything to us, so you would. And see, this is where I think that Negan really likes Carl, is because he's like, wow, this kid is going to be cool, right? So it's like, he couldn't kill him because it's going to be too entertaining to find out what's going to happen with Carl in the future. It's too fun to see what Carl's going to become. For Negan to just kill him now, it'd be like, you know what, I can't do it. It's too damn interesting. Because you got to think of it from Negan's perspective too, is does he get bored in the zombie apocalypse? Does he get bored? He's ordering everybody around. He's making people follow the rules. He's got his wives to entertain him and stuff. But you got to think, sing me a song and stuff, that Carl is like, for him in the future anyway, I think he sees as very entertaining to see what's going to happen with him if he doesn't kill him or something. So really good badass lines from Carl. I feel like it redeemed the character a lot, and it was really well delivered from Chandler Riggs, I felt like. That's the part with Jesus on the roof. And then we've got Daryl Go Now. So the Daryl Go Now scene. And I know this review is longer than usual, guys, but this episode was so packed. I want to cover at least most of the stuff. So is Daryl going to escape? It seems like he will. So that's really cool. And the other question is, who helped him out? Was it Sherry? Was it Dwight? Dwight's feeling a little bit conflicted right now, but he put him back right when Negan forced him to. So that's hard. I guess it could go either way. It's hard to say at this point who is going to help Daryl escape if he is going to be able to get out. Whoever it is, if it's Sherry, if it's Dwight, whatever it is, either way. It's good. It's good that Daryl's going to escape, and maybe next half. I don't think we'll see probably much with it in our mid-season finale, maybe a little bit, but I'm glad that Daryl's going to escape and be able to finally do some stuff on his own again and kind of get out of that cell, because he's one of my favorite characters in the series. Sometimes he is my favorite, and to get to see him in that state is not that entertaining when he's locked up there. So the Olivia part, 50% more into you, and then we've got Rick and Aaron. So the sign, whether or not so. His stuff really protected, and the only way you get this far is because he's dead. So it seems like to us, we don't know for sure 100%, but it seems like the guy, whoever it was, who had all that stuff, is dead, and that his signs were actually able to keep people away, and now they might have some trouble, waterlogged stuff or whatever, but it sounds like they'll be able to, get a lot of the stuff that was there. So we'll see what they can find and what part of it is useful, and if there's any firearms or anything that he has. Could be a good find. So we've got Rosita in the gun, and then we kind of come back to it, and Negan's there, and then you've got the girl, and then we settle in, and then Negan kisses forehead. Wow. And then we get to see an intense promo, which probably on AMC's page now, so I'll watch that, and then I'll do the predictions video with you guys after this video. About 10 minutes after this video, I'll start that. It'll be posted within the hour. Check the channel back for the predictions video for the mid-season finale. Score for this episode, 9.8 from me. It's damn near close to perfect. It's amazing. Just some of the choppiness, like some of the cuts, I felt like maybe you should have put a commercial here because there was a cut there, and it would have felt, a little bit, but it would have felt it's a little bit better to have it cut a little bit differently. But for the most part, this episode was loaded. I'd rather have too much stuff in an episode than not enough substance in an episode. So all in all, I love this episode is really what I'm saying. I bet most of you guys did too. Write your comments below. What did you guys think about this episode? Quite a bit different from the last few we've had so far. I would definitely say, aside from the premiere, this is our best episode we've had for the first half of Season 7 yet, and we'll see if the mid-season finale can surpass it. Yeah, it had a lot of stuff in it. It was a little bit difficult to follow, especially when you throw in the Michonne stuff as well too. And it almost makes me wonder, why didn't they take some of this stuff, some of these storylines they're opening now, like a can of worms, why didn't they put some of them in one of the earlier episodes to fill those out more? It kind of felt like some of those episodes were too slow, and then this one was maybe a little bit too packed because it went over time and everything, and I'm not sure. I don't know why they kind of decided to do that, but either way, this was an amazing episode, and it made the wait kind of worth it, even though we had a few slower episodes there. A good number this half. This one definitely was a big payoff for waiting for that. So, I can't wait for the mid-season finale as well. Check back for the predictions in a little bit, guys. They'll be ready for you. And, thanks for all your support this half, guys. I hope you enjoyed all the videos, of course, and we'll continue after the break as well, too. 1 week left. It's going to be a great week, and I can't wait to watch this one again. It's just so funny from Negan's perspective. Negan's stealing the show, absolutely. So write your comments below. If you guys like this video, don't forget, guys, please thumb it up. Always appreciate your thumbs up. Check out another video. I'll have it right here. Another video for you guys. Predictions. And if you're new, subscribe, bottom left. Always appreciate you guys subscribing. That's it for this review, guys. See you again soon for predictions for the mid-season finale. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Awesome one. See you guys.
You better subscribe.